Hello artists! Today we are going to make a color wheel together, but it won't be a traditional color wheel. It's going to be one in the shape of a flower. Our color wheel will begin with yellow, red, and blue, which you probably already know are what do you think? The primary colors. That's right, yellow, red, and blue are the primary colors. All right, so let's go ahead and start with 3 petals. The paper I'm using is a vertical paper, and I'm going to place the sunflower up near the top, leaving some room at the bottom for our leaves and a stem. All right, so here's the center, and we're going to go boom. Now you draw lighter than me, okay? I am drawing a lot darker than I want to because I want you to be able to see it. The reason you want to draw lightly is because if you did like me, where you drew one of your petals really big and then the others are smaller, you can change the shape. So let's see. That's pretty good like that. And if I had drawn lightly, oh, this would be so easy for me to remove the wrong marks. And you know what? The wrong marks aren't mistakes. They are marks that help me find the right marks. So they're part of the drawing process. All right, so see how we've built kind of a triangle shape. So one vertical one to start with, and then the other two come off at an equal measure away, so we effectively create a triangle. All right, now let's create a circle. Not too big, mine might be a little big. Let's put a circle in the middle of that, and that will be the center of our flower. You could probably go smaller than mine, but no matter what we do, it's still gonna be great. Okay, so here's the center of our flower, and now let's come in with the next 3 leaves. We'll put those equal distance in the middle. So let's find some lines, and we're going to center them. If you'd like to rotate, sometimes that helps. So I want to send a line of symmetry up right between those, right between these, and right between these. That'll help me make my petals a little more symmetrical, but again, not that important. All right, these could be a little smaller if you want, and they're going to probably bump up against the original set. After you draw your leaf or petal, remove the line of symmetry. There's another one, pretty symmetrical. Don't stress about it being perfect. And here's another one, like that and like that. Okay, so there we have 6. So we have 3 primary colors. 1, 2, 3. Do you know what these guys are called? The ones that sit exactly halfway between the primary colors. Halfway between yellow and red is orange. Halfway between yellow and blue is green. Halfway between blue and red, purple. These are called the secondary. That's right, secondary colors. All right, and if we're ambitious, if you're a 3rd grader, 4th grader, 5th grader, 6th grader, maybe you want to do the ones in between. These are called tertiary. Now, if you don't want to add these, you don't have to. All right, so here we go. I like how primary means 1, secondary means 2, and tertiary means 3. So almost like 1, 2, 3 steps back. All right, let's start with some coloring. If we want to finish the drawing part, we could add a nice stem. Typically stems are not quite that, well, maybe it's coming at us in space. And let's add a leaf and another leaf. And you've probably noticed this is not a very scientifically accurate sunflower, right? Nope, not too much. This one is more an experience and an experiment with color. All right, I'd like the center of my petals to be lighter. Now, if you want to be really fancy, you might lighten up your color or your graphite lines so that they're not so dark. And you might even draw each petal in the color that it's going to be painted in. That would be an advanced technique for some older students. So see, instead of drawing it in graphite, I would have drawn the red petal in red. How cool would that be? All right, what did I say? I said keep it a little lighter in the middle so we can sort of get a 3D effect. All right, so yellow, red. What is the other primary color? Do you remember? Yellow, red, and if you're saying blue, I'm in agreement with you. Blue is that third primary colors. Now, any of my friends who know of Mondrian, Piet Mondrian, and his wonderful abstract paintings, where he simplified color to just the primary colors, you remember that these were the three that you used to create that piece. Feel free, by the way, to turn your artwork as you're working so that it's more comfortable for your tool. There we go. And again, I'm trying to keep that center area lighter. Now it still looks a little scribble scrabble, doesn't it? I'm going to keep working on this off camera. I don't want to make you watch me do this work. All right, so, or complete it. I'll do it on my own and then show you my finished piece. All right, halfway between yellow and red. Do you know what those two colors make? I already told you. Let's see if you remember. If you said orange, you are correct. All right, so I'm checking my tools to see which one is the best orange. I think that one. Now, if I wanted to be really fancy, which I kind of do, I could use the orange that's in my toolkit, right? I could do that. But what if I wanted to blend? What if I wanted to go ahead and use my red? Again, you take your time and make yours look nice. Mine is just, I don't want you to watch a 3-hour video, right? So I'm working faster just so that it's shorter, all right? But I could layer my yellow and red and try to create an orange. Now I have to go back and forth with these tools and get the right mix. I might need more red, I might end up needing more yellow. Really depends on your tool, doesn't it? And if you want, you could also, like I said, you could come in with the orange that's already in your palette. The nice thing about this technique, and any kind of blending of color, is that if you only had the three primary colors, you could create everything. Yellow and blue. What do we get with those two? Here's yellow and blue. Let's see what happens. If I go right in there, do you already know? I bet a lot of you do. Let's see how it looks. Might not look the same on my camera as it does to my eyes. That's something that we struggle with when we take videos and try to teach online, is that we don't always get an image that looks like the real deal. All right, does that just look like yellow and blue scribbled together, or is it starting to make a secondary color? All right, I'm coming in with my actual tool, and here it is. It's green, right? I could layer that right on top. It was changing, wasn't it? Depending on how carefully you blend, you'll create that secondary color. There we go. All right, blue and red. Blue and red. Everybody knows this one. I've heard that this is a very popular color. One of people's favorite colors, yellow plus blue. Oh, sorry, blue plus red. And let's see what it is. Can we see it coming and emerging? Yep. If you said purple, or if you're kind of fancy, you might have said violet. That's right, violet. All right, now there are tertiary colors, colors that live on the third level, that are a combination of these two things, right? So if I took my purple, and let's see if I can find my purple in my toolkit. Well, let's see. This is magenta. Magenta actually lives halfway between purple and red. It's a combination of those two colors. There we go, a little more blue on this one. So I'd like you to go ahead and work on your flower. I'll have a sample so that you can reference it, but it's going to be different than mine because your tools and my tools are probably different. I do have Crayola pencils here, but perhaps you're working with crayons. Perhaps you lost one of your colors. That happens to me sometimes. And if you'd like to color the center of the flower, this is what I recommend. You know what happens when you mix all the colors together, don't you? You might experiment with some texture too. If you stirred all the colors on your palette together, what color would you get? you'd get something like one of these two, brown and gray. These are what we call neutral colors. When you mix colors opposite on the color wheel from each other, they neutralize each other, so they end up making kind of a gray or brown color. It turns brown if the colors are more warm, and it turns gray if the colors are more cool. They're basically, I consider them cousins, or maybe more like twins, but not identical twins. The kind of twins that were born together but don't look identical or the same as each other. All right, so you could put your neutrals in the middle there. You can color out your stems and your leaves any way you want, the backgrounds if you like, and see if you can figure out what these tertiary colors are. Remember, they'd be a mix of this and this. All right, artists, I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.